Can someone explain to me the conspiracy behind what Nike's up to right now? If you wanted to know what I'm talking about, first, take a look at this article from Bloomberg, where it says Nike job cuts will cost as much as $250 million in a one-time charge to the U.S. That's a nice way of saying between $200 and $250 million in jobs will be cut in the United States. So they're laying off, right? This is saying, well, we're not quite sure how this is going to happen. We've had the worst quarter ever. For the first time in history, Nike has been without profit this quarter, right? But harken back to this Nike article from The Hill, an article about Nike giving $40 million to BLM organizations. So again, the conspiracy is if you're laying off 500 or more executives and high-ranking officials at the corporate headquarters, if you're laying off 500 people, why? Why are you laying off 500 people, giving money to Black Lives Matter, and you're cutting as much as $250 million? We know that Black Lives Matter has destroyed a number of Nikes, and the Nike locations, they bust in the windows, they go in, they loot, they light them on fire. We see the Wendy's on fire, we see the Target on fire, and they'll show you sometimes that Nike is getting looted. You can see a lot of fake or stolen Nike merchandise online being sold on the Facebook marketplace right now, but Nike's been looted. So the question is, why is Nike giving money to the organization leadership, who then has the group, the rioters, go and loot Nike? Does Nike have an insurance policy on these locations? Do these locations each have their own multi-million-dollar claim paying out to Nike? If Nike is having their worst quarter ever, would this be a really kind of ingenious insurance scheme, scam, fraud? Because if you send rioters in, you pay the organization leadership $40 million. That gives them more than enough ammunition, supplies, organizational power, influence over media, ads. So you can get a bunch of people to go and riot and destroy a Nike. You can pay people to say, hey, here's $40 million. You have 57 or something major cities who have now said racism is a systemic issue. It's a health emergency. So that's where we stand. They're leftist cities, right? So they announce themselves to be that. And then what do you have? You have rioting and looting. So in those cities, how many Nikes have been looted? How many Nikes have been destroyed in riots and looted? We don't know. We can find out. Fair question. This is from Complex. Are they going to tell us what's going on? No. May, June. Chicago, Nike store. Nike stores in Michigan Avenue, smashed. What am I telling you, folks? LA, Portland. Of course, there's no live update on exactly how many, but you can see as far back into May and early June, these stores have been being ransacked. The Chicago location on Michigan Avenue, of course, being one of the biggest hit most often. 2 men in LA arrested, hitting multiple stores, Portland. So again, you got the point. You get a ton of people who go and loot a Nike store in every major city, in every major block, every big center of commerce. So like Michigan Avenue in Chicago, you have people loot the store. It costs millions in damage. They steal millions in merchandise. The company can claim all of that on their insurance, so they're getting multiples of millions of dollars in a payout to replace the things, to repair the damage, to replace the merchandise. And what? Well, that's better than it sitting on a shelf not being sold because people aren't out, people aren't shopping. So what do you think? I mean, is that a scam? Is that a scheme? Is that fraud? If a company says to a terrorist group, hey, here's $40 million. Here's $40 million. And then, if you guys don't mind, go to those 60 some odd major cities, smash all of the Nike locations in all of your looting, make sure that you hit us. And when you do, we will be able to quadruple our money. That 40 million, plus they just cut 250 million in overhead costs because it's people's salaries and benefits and probably their pensions, their retirements in some cases, more than likely. I mean, oh, it didn't vest. You were only here 4 years and not 5 years. So sorry, those thousands and hundreds of thousands of dollars that these executives have put in their retirement, well, it's not really yours. Part of their income until it's not. So you tell me, is this a scheme? I think so. Make sure you like this video, comment on it, share this with your friends, subscribe to this channel so that we can keep America afloat.